Received last night a heart stream. The spokesperson is Beloved Hope, the Archaea, on behalf of Hope, Faith, and Charity. The title is Hope Springs Eternal, Faith Leaps Supernal, and Charity Shares Fraternal, a new way forward to fulfill your healing ministry. Beloved ones, there is always hope, for it springs eternal in the lives of those with purity of motive and clarity of vision. There is always faith, for it leaps supernal by a will focused on the reality of God within. And there is always charity, for it shares fraternal through a heart dedicated with love for all life, near and far. We, these three archaea, who embody these wondrous living virtues, are always available to commune with, to pray to, and to invite into your consciousness and world when you require a certain feminine archangelic intercession to help you live life to the fullest, inspired by our majestic energies and miraculous gifts of divine light. In this day and age, many have lost hope and faith and charity by ignoring those natural soul impulses that arise from a positive disposition and a radiant consciousness wed to spirit through prayer, meditation, and contemplative stillness away from the noise of a world gone mad. Yet we come to free, to elevate, and to inspire all who are willing to receive our ministrations with an open mind, a humble heart, and a gracious attitude of gratitude to God for life itself. Dear ones, the simplest of prayers draw us nigh unto you. A modicum of holiness will bring a response from our realms, and a wisp of intuition will afford you entree into an elevated state where you can feel and know that we are here and ready to bless and caress you with our radiant joy and our sweet spiritual embraces of love, wisdom, and power. Just try a new tack and close your eyes. Look upward with your inner vision and receive the graces of God that we are able to access and shower you with day or night at any moment that you require them. Many a saint in the making asked for heavenly assistance, surrendering to and then waiting upon the Lord's will until the answer came through our divine intercession. Indeed, we always respond in some way, even if it requires a bit more patience on your part. For often, in those moments of abiding with what has been called long-suffering, your soul is strengthened to weather the testings of the initiatic path and to let go of or conquer some aspect of your lesser self that has been a stumbling block toward your full God self-realization. You truly do access and then possess your higher soulful state through patience. And you receive the highest spiritual gifts through complete humility and purity of heart, mind, and will. Then, having shared with others what God has endowed you with, and having anointed others with the perfect love that you have first received from on high, You are able to be an intercessor and mediator for many whom our Lord desires you to serve kindly and selflessly. The courageous heart is always giving and victorious. The glorious mind is always pure and undefiled. And the winsome will is always available and ready, with the noblest of intentions to fulfill the high ideal for self and others. You draw unto you in greater measure what you first give away to others through cosmic surrender. You gain in permanence what descends into your heart from divine realms that is a co-efficient, yea, a cosmic multiplier of what you have striven for in your loving and harmonious daily life. We come here to the Healing Light Retreat to support beloved Mother Mary, our sister Archaea, and her overshining radiance unto those who are working for the healing of mankind through any inspired natural modality. Truly, the Aquarian Essene way always utilizes the simplest and purest means of optimizing inner health and well-being through what is closest to what God has embedded in the natural world all around you. When mankind veers and steers away from what is found in the unadulterated natural world of the plant and mineral kingdoms, infused with the Holy Spirit's sacred fire breath, it loses its natural immunity from synthetic substances. And it then often ignorantly plays with negative or diabolical forces which separate the soul from its divine estate of balance and harmony. The original intent and mission of the Wellspring Retreat, which existed in Paradise Valley, can still be fulfilled in the expanded mission of the Healing Light Retreat. For its purpose is now being fulfilled through numerous practitioners working in many places and spaces consecrated to this Essene community of light worldwide. In other words, this healing ministry will no longer be focused solely on this property under Mother Mary's Western Retreat, for she will use enlightened healing ministrants everywhere to assist all who would be taught and coached to heal themselves through any and all possible means, both in person and virtually. Let more broadcasts and podcasts on spiritual and physical wellness begin. Let more hour-long or day-long sessions be planned and fulfilled to edify all in the sacred healing arts and sciences overshined by one or more of us, the Archaea. Let those who have the qualifications, training, and experience be allowed to teach and give their gifts so that this community will be a way-shower to others with the most cutting-edge yet inexpensive means of restoring people, animals, plants, and the environment to their pristine state of harmony and perfection. Come ye together to use your visionary skills to co-create a virtual Aquarian hospitality and wellness center where all are welcome to obey the ancient adage, "Physician, heal thyself." May God overshine all who would be raised in this new spirit of freedom to be whole again, body, mind, soul, and spirit. So be it. Thank you. For many years, many of us have been coached by various individuals around the planet who may have keys for wholeness and wellness, for healing. I remember well when Jamie Rambo called and told me about Anthony William, and Mona immediately purchased the book, and that began a whole saga in our life of utilizing his recommendations to drink celery juice every morning, a heavy metal detox smoothie, other smoothies, to eat what basically is a vegan diet with many, many, many recipes in all of his books. Recently, we introduced you to an initiate in Texas, in Austin, and he shared with us a few weeks ago on ozone. And I really appreciated his presentation because he spoke on healing from a perspective that I think is absolutely essential, with I believe it was, 7 different ways of, or measures of really healing our systems and our body temples. We have, even here in the Healing Light Retreat, the EES, the Energy Enhancement System, created by Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. And we, of course, we have it in our sanctuary in Livingston too. There are many modalities that many of us have used, including foot sonology, which is like foot reflexology on a regular basis, and massage in general, and then chiropractic and dietary recommendations and nutrition. All of these really originate from the healing masters, the retreats, and what we have known in past lives as Essenes, and the art and science of purification and fasting and utilizing the sun, the elements, water, to heal from within out. I thought it interesting in this heart stream that the Archei, Hope, Faith, and Charity, mentioned the word hospitality, and you think of it, and of course you may initially think of inviting people to motels and hotels or whatever, yet really look at the word hospital. And though hospitals in this day and age are primarily places where people go to seek relief from dis-ease, and days before, the sanitariums, especially in Europe, were there for people to heal with all manner of natural modalities. I believe these sanitariums or hospitality wellness centers will be created again after the great shift, which is part of the great awakening, occurs, where the medical establishment is brought to task for what they've done to poison us and to utilize toxic substances and chemicals and the drugs that are not to our highest benefit. Yes, there are wonderful doctors and nurses in the medical profession who have the right motive and everything. We know this. They're beautiful people. And yet the system is corrupted by what has transpired, especially in the last century. And this has to change. And RFK Jr. is, of course, working on this, and we are praying for him to make swift and great progress, although things are slow going through the political system. So it requires really God Mercury and the Mercurian masters to bring the shifts and the changes that are essential so that we can do away with cancer. We can do away with autism. We know what causes autism, and he knows what causes it, and yet he has to tread lightly with the HHS and the system that we unfortunately have in the United States and in other countries, because he can't just immediately instill the Aquarian model. It's a political tightrope for him, and so he requires tremendous amount of prayer and help and support spiritually. to make America and the world healthy again. Now, why did hope, faith, and charity come rather than Mother Mary today? Well, with a balanced threefold flame, even though hope represents the white ray, we have everything essential within us to harmonize our body temple and to restore the natural immunity that we require and to bring the balance of body, mind, and soul back into that homeostasis state where there's equilibrium and radiant health. I think hope was a spokesperson because sometimes we don't have a lot of hope when we see what's happening in the world. And we have to remember that hope does spring eternal. And now faith leaps supernal and charity shares fraternal or fraternally the wisdom of these three archei who do work with Mother Mary as a feminine archangel to bring about harmony, peace, understanding, love, trust again, and the systems that we know have to change and morph into this Aquarian model. Early on in my life, I came in contact with a doctor in the town I grew up in, Hinsdale, Illinois, Dr. J. David Larson. He was a homeopath. And I started studying that and started studying iridology. Well, we have an iridologist in Austin, Texas. And by God's grace, I've been commissioned to go there for an alchemical project, and then I plan on seeing Artemis himself, who is a master iridologist. I think that many of us are going through a phase in our life where we realize that we have to take optimal care of our body temples if we are to have a long life free of major pain and physical suffering. And the changes that we have to make are natural changes. They are changes that bring us back to nature, as we heard in this heart stream. The most simple yet profound things. Using the sun, using water, cleansing, using natural foods, organic, live foods whenever possible. I appreciate that Boyd and Nancy, grow their greens, their sprouts, and their microgreens regularly. And it's something that many of us could actually start doing. When I was a senior in high school in Carbondale, Illinois, I gave 2 speeches in our speech class. One was on being a vegetarian, the other was on growing sprouts. And I need to do that again, right, honey? We need to do more of that. We buy sprouts at the store, why not grow our own and save a little money? We're always putting the alfalfa sprouts in one of the green drinks or one of the shakes. So we buy a lot of bananas, we buy a lot of frozen blueberries, we buy a lot of this or that for these detox smoothies and everything. Yet when I think about it, whatever we can grow locally has the energy of the environment where we live here. And I believe that, that understanding in macrobiotics, that you try to eat foods that grow in your area, is still a very important concept. And though we import so many bananas and so many of this or that, imagine having raspberries, strawberries, eventually maybe even blueberries in Montana, though we've been told they're really hard to grow here. Imagine having the greenhouses where everything that we require we can grow and we can consume live whenever possible. This is part of my vision and part of what I think Mona had in her beautiful, newly created vision prayer that you shared with us today. So thank all of you for what you do locally to try to bring health, wellness, vitality, and wholeness into being through what you know to be the most meaningful, profound, and simple, and yet very wonderful healing modalities. God bless us all.